Journal entry, 16th of the month of December, in the year of our Lord 1105. It is a somber month this year, in which we celebrate the birth of the Lord. My duchy has been able to resist the recent plague surprisingly well, yet many have perished inside my court and across the lands. We have buried our dead and move on, with new lands to care for and new scars to show. I am worried about Alderic, who has resorted to hiding his disfigurement and is seen at prayer most of the time. Peronella and me have tried talking to him, but he insists that he needs time to reflect on sin and punishment. Ogier has come to visit us, and while he's grown lazy, he also strikes me as having grown calmer, and I am placated that my decision to expose him to a foreign court has been correct. He has become friends with the Duke of Aquitaine's marshal, who is said to be a brave and honest man, and must have had a positive influence on him. Now that the dark cloud has been lifted from us, we must seek to forge alliances, as the Emperor, in his insatiable hunger for conquest, may once again threaten our lands, and by then I may not have the strength of arm to oppose him. Takul von Nassau, one of my oldest friends, and who has been very unlucky in life, is the first of us who has become a grandfather. Because young Takul, his grandson, has just been born to Volkart and to Messina. So I'd look at him with some envy. At the same time, we will have to take a look around and see if we can find a way to forge some alliances around us. Now, Aquitaine would be a good candidate, but Duke Eudes of Aquitaine has become a bit of a madman and also grown melancholic over the past years. And his son, who's just been born, is still an infant. So there's nobody really on the court. The County of Auvergne, obviously led by the treacherous Count Robert, the son of the Count who had been burnt at stake during the dark times. It's not quite a good target. And Languedoc, obviously, under Duke Guillaume the Accursed, who, despite all his murderous efforts, is still excommunicated as a kinslayer. But we do not wish to have much. We do not wish to have much to do with him and his court. So that's out of the question as well. Gascogne is held by Duke Eudes, and Armagnac has not been actually created. So we will probably look a little closer. Now, Burgundy would be a good target as well, under the mad Queen Francesca, who is just a plain evil woman, and who has gone through a lot as well. But obviously, there's nobody on the court that would be suitable. So we shall cast our net a little wider and see if we can find any of our neighbors who would have somebody suitable that we could introduce to my older sons. Raoulf, my second eldest, has been introduced to Thibaut de Genève, who is somewhat younger than him, but it would make for an alliance between the County of Genève and the Duchy of Toulouse. However, I feel that the age gap between the two is rather large, so we will see if we can instead get her and Antoine together. I think that would be these two would be a better match. So they would be betrothed, and once they come of age, then they can decide if they would like to get married. Well, they'd better, because otherwise we break the alliance. But we will send that proposal out, and we will see how they react. Not much otherwise. Most of the courts have been absolutely decimated by the plague and the recent plague. And we also don't want to make alliances too far away, because that will draw our troops in case of a confrontation will draw our troops out quite a bit. So for the time being, and yeah, we're not going to get any payment from Ogier, definitely. For the time being, we shall continue to build up the country. We still have control issues in Quercy, but we're working on that. And we've got Emo who is increasing development in Toulouse, and Tarkulf, who is generally trying to appease the various mayors who have not warmed up to me quite as much, mostly due to the fact that they would rather have a seat on the council, and I am happy to do that if they are qualified. But if I have somebody from my house who is more qualified, then that'll stay as it is. And we have a new stewardship perk. We could let's see. We could continue down the avaricious path, or so I'm not sure. I'm still going to fulfill that, or we just work our way down towards architect. I don't honestly need the divided attention because we're below domain limit anyway, and I have enough plans for further conquest. But architect would be a good one to have. So we might just keep going down this path and see if we can reach that. Now we do have some coin. So I think Toulouse itself could do. We didn't have quite enough yet, but Toulouse itself could do with some additional settlements, because right now we only have the castle. As well as the bishopric of Pamiers, but we have some relatively empty lands in the north. Alternatively, we could just improve. We could keep improving the holdings that we already have, or we could try to add another castle that could eventually develop it into another castle. That would also be an option. So, we'll accumulate some more income, and then any of the activities are way too expensive anyway that we currently have. So we'll continue as is. While I am getting on in years, I still feel fine. Peronella, my wife and beloved, is complaining more and more about her condition. She has given birth to 6 children over the time, and she's been with me through many battles. So seeing her not in poor health is not something that I'm particularly happy about. Yet I also feel that our time will eventually come, and our children will be the one carrying the torch from there. So Geneva has accepted. Antoine and Thibault are going to be betrothed. Raoulf, my second, has recently visited the bishopric of Vézelay in Avalois, and appears to have developed an eye for Regenza von Altenburg, of the House Altenburg, who is a guest of the local bishop. So the two of them have asked my permission to get married, and she seems all in all like an honorable woman. So I shall accept her into our court gladly. We'll be doing some upgrades on the existing structures rather than building yet another new one up, because I think there are a few things we can do. So, for example, the castle, Toulouse Castle, can do with an upgrade. That'll be increasing the fort level as well as the tax income by a little bit. We've got Gévaudan, which has logging camps, which I think we can improve as well, or we could upgrade the forest fortification there. But I think the logging camps are probably the better option for now. So we'll get that upgraded as well, and then we've got some construction going on to generally increase the available income and the quality of life in the country. The King of Aragon has capitulated, and with that, the conquest of the Empire of Francia is further and further spreading, with Toulouse being an island of at this point peace, but with Francia further spreading through the Iberian lands now that they have England under their control as well. So we'll have to. The Holy Roman Empire actually has a new emperor, Kaiser Adalbero the Compassionate, and we'll see if there is any kind of if there's any kind of opportunity to build relationships with the Holy Roman Empire, who we always had good relations with. Burgundy would be nice, but Queen Francesca and her young spouse both are treacherous, dishonorable villains, so I'd rather not. I knew that getting older would mean doing everything slower, but I didn't think it would all come to a halt until my death. Lately, I feel a constant malaise, and everything takes more effort than before. I'm worried that if I lie down, I might not be able to get up again. There is no doubt that my time is running out. I feel like I can do naught but to await death's sweet embrace to claim me. So I have actually gained the infirm trait. And with that, it looks like even though Peronella's health has been poor, I might actually be leaving this realm sooner than she does. I'm still worried about Alderic, but at this point, I'm intending to have him inherit all my possessions and the title, obviously, of Toulouse. And we will see how we will see if I can still find my grandchild, and if I can see my daughters still coming of age. Farah the Brave has returned from Quercy and reported that control in the country has been restored, which means we should be, we're starting to get taxes flowing in, and with that he can once again begin training my knights and commanders. Emo, my steward, is overseeing the construction and development in Toulouse, but he also is getting on with age, really, and my military will eventually. Radomir is still wounded from his fight. I must have hit him for worse than we thought. But my military is, or my knights are getting on in age as well. So a new generation is going to be needed to follow up and to make sure that the country is well defended. I'm proud to see my son no longer as a child, but as an adult. Antoine has come of age. Always the clever child, Antoine proved time and time again over the course of his studies that he had a natural affinity for careful planning, and more than a little misdirection. Now it is harder to say, however. Everything that is tasked of him is done by others before he gets to it, and he never tells petty lies the way he used to. Perhaps he was not as clever as he seemed after all. Peronella's contribution towards his education cannot go unmentioned. Her lessons gave Antoine valuable knowledge for his future life. So he gains the elusive shadow trait. Wow. So Thierry, who's my spy master, who has been teaching him as well, seems to have trained a valuable replacement for himself. So Antoine, his intrigue's terrible. So. Yeah, that did not work out the way I was hoping, but he seems to be a rather decent diplomat after all. So we will see. Maybe while it is his education, okay. So now his intrigue is still poor. It sorted itself out, but its intrigue is still not great. He's too honest for that, unfortunately. But we shall see. Maybe he can find uses for his education at some point. As I patiently await the fetching of my clothes, a servant stutters. "My lord, no one can find your garments." I am surrounded by incompetence, I mutter, storming from my chamber. It is my daughter Faidida's room that I discover not only my raiments but also the girl's wet nurse. I had not part in it, my liege. She dressed herself, Constantia responds with a giggle. Faidida, at 10 years old, is already taller than me. And yeah, we have questions, but I think those questions will remain unanswered. So she is going to be the princess of fashion. Yes, absolutely. Despite her somewhat unusual stature, she shall be known as the princess of fashion. Despite the fact that it is harder and harder for me to get out of bed in the morning, I think I shall want to travel my lands once more. As the snow melts in February, we will go on another inspection, and we shall. Where shall we go? I think we shall go to Kelsey probably. We shall go to Kelsey, which and we shall inspect this and reintroduce ourselves to the locals in the land, and see that we don't have much. We probably don't have enough gold because we will have to spend some during the inspection. So we'll discard that for now, and once we'll have maybe 100 gold, then we shall have a final walk. By then it's also warmer, and we will make our walk north to Kelsey. The month of May has arrived, and under the warmth of the sun, we will be overseeing the workings in Kelsey, where they're currently constructing hamlets. And once more in the evening of my days, I shall be on the road and traveling my lands to see how things are progressing. We have received word from Ban Jelena of Lower Bosnia to marry off his mother to my son Alderic. She is inappetitic, reclusive, and a bit of a villain. So I have no interest. I have no interest in that because while we would gain some some prestige from marrying into the dynasty, I do not see that this is something that we would want to do. Right now, Alderic has agreed to come with me, but as usual, he is wearing his plate armor as to not show his face. All right, Kelsey has gained no stone unturned, which increases the development growth, which is great. And as I arrive in Kelsey, I am brought to the study. All right, we don't want to. We could improve the bureaucracy. That's, I think, generally a good idea. So we'll do that. The nobles seem to be friendly to the cause, and the locals are celebrating as well. And I find myself in conversation with some of the locals about how I should prioritize the restructuring. Move and rebuild the old town walls, Captain Louis of the local garrison says with a wink. Think of how much more space we would have for a new residential district. No, the old merchant district is in dire need of a touch-up. All right, so we could get building time and construction better. We could invest in the guilds, which would improve development. I think the merchants are where we're going with that. This is building construction time. And yeah, we don't have any free building slots. So yeah, the merchants have the right of it. Okay. So it looks like, while I am away, a message has been sent that Emo, has died. Unable to carry his own massive frame, he has followed his wife Alecon after many more years. The two of them remain without children. He had lost his leg in the last battle for the liberation of Toulouse, and in the end, the age has caught up with him, and that means, well, as sad as it is, we also need a new counselor, a new steward. So let's have a quick look. Who's got the best stewardship? That would be my seneschal by a far margin. So while I could assign my son, I think he would be the Saxon man of the House of Schwerin, who would be a great fit to hold the position of steward. So he is improving the development in Toulouse, taking up where Emo has left off. And does that mean... No, he still works as my seneschal. He does no longer need to improve the control growth, but he can instead work on leveraging everybody's organization in court. So this man is invaluable. He's the husband of Ermesens, but it looks like the two of them are also not blessed with children. All right, back to the inspection, where some tax evasion appears to have happened. And after thoroughly scrutinizing all the documents, I've managed to wrestle out some extra budget. All right, we can do a stewardship challenge, or we could do a learning challenge. I think it's either improved taxes. Let me see what we get from that, if the game lets me do that. There we go. So that's plus 20% holding taxes, or improved development. So that's development growth. I think, how much are we getting out of Kelsey to begin with? We are... that would be nice. Development's at 10. So I generally like development for the future, but tax is also good. So I think it's a coin toss, really. We've got the marginally better chance on the taxes, so we'll take that. And we'll see how that goes. We've got good relations with the merchants. And despite many problems and issues I faced in Kelsey, I feel I have started getting a good understanding of how to get my way around here. The landholders, the local guilds, they're all starting to accept my way of doing things. All right. Hopefully these are the last of my challenges here. And in the end, this is more a reason for Bernat to make his way out once more. If it succeeds or fails, then it doesn't matter. We do get an inconclusive inspection, but we did gain some legitimacy, and we'll return some other time. We've got adjusted taxes, and in all, I would say it was worth a final trip across my lands, and I shall return home probably for the last time and final time in my life. The French Emperor, in his ever increasing lust for conquest, has defeated Francesca, and the evil Queen of Burgundy, and with that has taken over Burgundy as well. In the end, it has proven to be a wise choice not to get involved too closely with Burgundy, but I fear that Toulouse will become the center of his attention, because it remains, together with parts of the Holy Roman Empire, it remains a stain in his otherwise immaculately painted empire, and I fear that I am too old to lead my troops once more against the French Emperor when it comes to it.